I do love a good system, a good process, a good framework. In work, I use it all the time. That is what I was asked to build a year ago, is to build a strategy system for us. And so now I'm in the midst of running that system.
Cool.
But I think personally, a system that's really important to me is around decision making. And so I think the biggest part of it is being able to ask, is this urgent? Is this important? Or can I say no? And I think sometimes that no category gets pushed off, like, especially for those achievers out there, that it's either urgent or important. But I think there is always a third category of the simple word no, that it is a complete sentence. It doesn't have to come with a justification, but no.
Now, did you learn that lesson the hard way? I know for me, I was an overcommitter, and I would say yes to everything and no to nothing, and it backfired really badly. So I had to learn that. Tell me about your story.
So the system that I have now is called my husband, John, and it helps me because I'll run things by him before I commit to them. There's other times, though, where I've just learned to be able to say no better, and my purpose is what helps me.
Yeah.
So just because the opportunity is there, I know it doesn't mean that I need to be the one to take it. And having my purpose, it helps me say, okay, is this for my family or my community?
Yeah.
Is this something that is going to use my greatest strength of creating new value? And will it ultimately help me glorify God? And if it doesn't fit into that, I have an easier time saying no, because Lisa Turkhurst wrote a great book on this. But when I say yes to one thing, I am saying no to thousands of things. And so to understand that, it helps us put our yeses where they really need to be. And as a result, we're going to need to say no to certain things.
So it's a really good filtering system. And I guess the two questions I have to challenge you is, how do you handle two bad decisions or two good ones? Like it's a bad or a worse decision, or it's a good or a better. And it's not as clear as a no or a yes, you know. You have to make a decision in either scenario.
That's really good.
A rock in a hard place.
A rock in a hard place. I think in the situation of a rock in a hard place, I take the longer perspective.
Okay.
Go, okay, so 10 years from now, when I look back, which of these decisions would I have wanted to take?
I like that. Like, will I have regretted doing one or the other? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, I think the other part with decision making is then if we find that we have urgent and important, the irony is that the urgent so often tries to cannibalize the important. And so here's an example from my life, is that I've got these two precious kiddos who are like nonstop energy.
Yeah.
And then I have a
it's
job
always urgent.
Yes. And sometimes though, it's important. And I can put a meeting or a deadline in front of them. And the reason I know that I'm off is when I feel that frustration, and that, like I told you, Jen says, of pay attention to the tension. When I feel a tension that I'm not being the mom that I was created to be, I have to stop and pull back. And often I'm putting urgent over important. And there's a good chance that with that urgent work, somebody else could do it. I might be able to do it later, a little bit later. And then the other big thing is just taking the time to put the important tasks in first. So my morning routine is a big part of that. Exercise, time with the Lord, time with John. It's like the day has started off really strong because I have those three priorities done. And then I have special time with my kiddos before, like that's all before they wake up. And then I have special time with them. So when I can put the big rocks into the day, the important first, everything else can shuffle in and fit around it. So figuring those out and then being able to say what's important right now. So it might be important, but it doesn't have to be done now. So
and sometimes our deadlines are very superficial. They don't mean anything, and but yet we act as if it's like monumental.
Yes, I am on the Strengths Finder. My number one is activator.
So
my life is constantly in a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a big one.
It's an internal one. What are your other top four?
Oh, activator, maximizer, positivity, woo, and relator.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. We don't share any of the top five. I'm connectedness, strategic, ideation, and I don't remember the others. But,
good. We would make a good team.
Yeah, good compliment.